Do you have a full-time job and a side hustle? A full-time job and a side hustle with your extra free time, not a lot of it. A full-time job and a side hustle, they seem pretty separate, right? Well, we're back on Vincent's channel and he's gonna talk about how he actually grows his side hustle with a full-time job. So we're back on Vincent's channel and I saw this video titled How I Grew My Side Hustle with My Full-Time Job. And I'll tell you, when I first started my side hustle, October of 2015, driving for Uber, my brother's done the same thing, a side hustle with a full-time job. My friends have done that, and chances are you might be doing that as well. You have a side hustle, but you also have a full-time job. How can that grow your side hustle? So I'm wondering, what if it's a completely unrelated side hustle? Like, what if you're doing food delivery, grocery, parcel delivery, Walmart Spark, something else? I'm betting this might leverage more entrepreneurial side hustles, which I am a fan of, selling a product, course, or service, and what? Getting leads? I don't know. So let's see what Vincent talks about. Now it's the fun part. Let's watch a video together.
This is my calendar in 2019. I was working a full-time job, studying for the Series 7 and 63, starting YouTube, and freelancing projects all at once. I didn't have enough time, so I was forced to develop these 6 strategies and systems to keep myself organized and working. And today, I'm revealing what they are that allowed me to quit my full-time job and do YouTube full-time and run several other businesses.
Interesting. So 6 strategies for time management, time savings. And here's the thing, this is exactly what I did. Is starting on YouTube in 2017 is when I first started, had a full-time job. I even moved and had to manage all of this and did that to eventually go full-time. And actually, I want to let you know, we just launched our course Master in YouTube to teach you how to actually do that. Obviously not for everyone if you don't want to do YouTube, but if you do, take this course. It is the A to Z course teaching you thumbnails, how to make clickable videos and title strategies, looking at your analytics, which is critical, gear, getting comfortable on camera. It's linked down below, yourdrivermight.com/YouTube. So I'm hoping this isn't just for YouTube. I'm thinking it's not, but let's see here.
I guarantee you this will change your life. First, I knew I needed to
pretty big guarantee.
my brain, which is how I learned about biohacking a very specific molecule in your brain. There are 3 key changes we need to make to impact this molecule. 1, after hours of research, I came up with this list of foods that I would rotate my meals with. Second, to increase my daily exercise, since exercise also strengthens this molecule. And finally, I shifted my sleep schedule to get a little bit extra sleep in. I personally use a smart alarm app that woke me up during my light sleep phases so that I avoided that groggy, heavy feeling, which actually made this transition a lot easier.
Can I just say something about sleep here? I'll be honest with you, my actual circadian rhythm is not the best as I set my own schedule, but I get enough hours of sleep. And I will tell you, I like the healthy food. I exercise 4 to 5 times a week, going to the gym, cardio, what have you. Sleep, I've invested in. Speaking of, I actually invested in this. It's an Aura sleep tracking ring. Now it's expensive and there's a monthly, a membership to access, the deeper data. But I mean, for someone that has and this isn't sponsored by the way, it's just something I use and I agree with the point about sleep. And it's pretty neat to see actually tracking sleep stages and the quality of sleep, how long I'm in bed and not falling asleep for. So not sponsored, I just like it.
You'll be much more focused and much more productive. The next issue was procrastination, and this is how I fixed it. And it was actually shocking how easy it was to fix. I was easily distracted and I used anything as an excuse to procrastinate. So I knew I needed to condition my brain to be in certain modes depending on where I was. So I designated my desk as work mode. I made sure it was always free of clutter and gizmos and only had some paper, a pen, and my computer on it. I put my phone in another room and do nothing.
Let me talk about that. Is programming your brain, this is literally what he's doing, to stay in work mode, do things that also make it enjoyable, but it's furthering your side hustle. In this case, he is talking about his side hustle on YouTube at the time, but think about your own business, your own, just even the app work itself. Like, look, I can sit around, I can go right over here and play my favorite Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? Or I can go out and work. I can film a video for you. I can do whatever it is. I can work on my business versus having those other things pull you away. And here's what I do is if the temptations to get distracted get too strong, I will go to a coffee shop to work. And that's largely what I did when I was living in San Diego, because I didn't want to be, and at the time I had a desk in a bedroom, be distracted by just laying down, taking a nap, especially after I did work a full-time job, that I wanted to stay in the zone. So even if it was the weekend, I wanted to get out and really program myself to get into that flow state, it's called, to get focused and not just, bend to the distractions.
I was the type of person obsessed with to-do lists because I thought it was the best productivity hack ever. Until I learned this trick. So whenever I had a bigger task that I hadn't figured out how to do just yet, I would just randomly throw it on my calendar in the next week or two. So when I do see it again, my brain remembers that it's in incubation mode.
Incubation mode.
And will
Okay, interested. So it's putting something out in front of you. It's having actual actions because you have goals. Listen, I don't care what your side hustle is. It's to make $25 an hour as a DoorDash Dasher. It's to start my Etsy store. I make my own jewelry, but I just haven't actually started. Or I have an idea for affiliate marketing, but I haven't signed up. And moreover, I haven't done my research to learn which ones might be the best for me. It's getting it out in front. I think that is something that I could benefit from. And I feel like I've done it like here and there, but putting something on your calendar, listen, if it's out in front of you, and think about this, if it's on your calendar, just pencil in an hour or two to work on whatever it is, all those different projects, businesses that we just talked about. But if it's there and if the time comes and you're lazy or you delete it off your calendar, that is very real that, hey, you're being too lazy versus, I could work on it now. I could start my website now, but I have a lot going on, right? I'll get to it tomorrow or the next couple of days versus it's penciled in there from 1 to 2 today. And you told yourself you're going to do it. Are you really going to be that lazy?
But it was this next strategy that allowed
What is
me
the next
to
strategy?
optimize my time so that I can grow my own business while I was working a full-time job and studying.
Automation.
And it boils down to my formula of how I structure my day. I divided my day into 3 segments, and I made sure to fit very specific activities into each segment. I reserve the first segment for tasks that require a lot of energy and willpower, stuff that I find boring and that I don't really want to do and can be easily swayed into doing something else. Reserve the second segment for more medium energy tasks, stuff that I find more enjoyable and
I'm betting the other part is a low energy. I kind of feel like I do that naturally. Let me know down below in the comments. Would that benefit you to actually break up your days based on what? Motivation, energy level? Now, here's the thing is if you have a 9 to 5, let me give you some insight there. If you have something to do, we just talked about putting something out in front of you, putting it on the calendar, that you might want to do the hard stuff first. I'm trying to remember the book. It's Eat That Frog. That's what it is. And the book the premise of it is doing the hard thing first.
if there's nothing else that you take away from this video, let this be the one thing you remember. Because
what's the one
before
thing?
I figured this out, I kept doing something that was the
Come on,
worst
Vincent.
thing anyone can do. For example, I would loosely give myself a month to make a YouTube video, and despite having the whole
timelining.
month, I would still be scrambling,
Setting
with brainstorming,
deadlines.
scripting, filming, editing, all of it. And this fifth strategy is understanding Parkinson's law, that states work expands to fill the time available for its completion.
Yes.
For me, because I gave
That is the first time that I've heard about that, but it is something that I 100% immediately understand. Work expands to fill the time available, yes, for its completion. So I told you earlier, and we relate this to what Vincent was talking about, that if it's not on the calendar, if there's not a deadline, a timeline, then it's like, well, you know, I really want to start that website, that affiliate program. I really want to, you know, start on YouTube. I should probably take Mike's course, but there's time. And if you don't set parameters for time, you just kind of, you chip away, and there's no pressure to finish it at a certain time because there is no finish line.
But of course, this rule has a limit. Just like how you'll start to make mistakes in Tetris when the blocks fall too fast, I can't just give myself 1 hour to make a whole video, so you do need to test your limits. And finally, my absolute favorite game changer strategy is rapid fire. A quick list of smaller changes that I made. First, Pareto principle. Work on the 20% that produces 80% of the outcome. Second, stop multitasking so you can enter deep flow state more easily on one thing. Third,
okay, I love that. I mean, working on what is actually going to move your business or side hustle forward. I mean, if you're trying to do regular side hustle apps, you just want to make some money, like I would research and understand how the apps work, how your marketplace works in relation to those apps. But again, if you're trying to go bigger with a business, selling a product, course, or service, affiliate income, whatever it is, work on what's going to move the needle. The multitasking with a deep flow state, that is the best feeling. If you haven't had that, a deep flow state when you are in the zone, when you're focused. And there's science behind this. I do research on this stuff as well. Understanding the science behind success, and it's to get into that flow state, dealing with stress and anxiety and researching that as well to understand how to best set you up for success. We talked about the biohacking with sleep, diet, and all of that. And I feel like that's continually something that I have to work on and I try to work on. It's not trying to do everything all at once. Like, I feel like I still want to do everything. I want to make solid side hustle accessories, like actual physical products for you. I want to work on different new courses and stuff. And I want to work on all the other features and offerings that we have on this channel, but it's really something to be said about taking a step back and having laser focus on one thing, again, at least in that block of your calendar.
Third, turn on Do Not Disturb on your phone. Even being distracted for a second can throw you off the game.
Yes.
Fourth, stop trying to perfect your work because it's not possible. Just do
Done is better than perfect. We talk about that in that YouTube course. Done is better than perfect. If you're building your own website, if you're creating a product, like obviously do your research and whatnot, but get it to 98, like 97, 99% of what your optimal ideal is. Just don't stress about trying to squeeze every little bit of optimization out of your business.
Learn from it and move on. Fifth, unsubscribe from irrelevant emails and YouTube channels to declutter your digital life. Instead, subscribe to my newsletter to learn how to live a healthy and healthy life for free. Link below. Six, take notes so you don't need to waste your brain power trying to remember things. Seven, develop a routine so some of your tasks can become an automatic part.
I am ridiculously routine, folks. I mean, I know like the circadian rhythm that we talked about is all over, but there is a routine. I wake up, it is breakfast, it is clean up from breakfast, it is get ready to go to the gym, it is either work on a side hustle app or work on my next video. Obviously there's downtime. And Vincent talked about scheduling. A lot of this I will do mentally versus, calendar blocking my entire day, but I generally know a schedule of, hey, this is how much time I'm gonna have for downtime, because you need downtime. You need de-stressors, right? But there's always a very hard set routine. And I'll push you here that if you wanna do something, a business, etc., you have to have that gray space in your calendar and cut out the time wasters, hour on TikTok, Facebook, playing too many video games. Again, it's that balance of fun, free time versus advancing your business.
Part of your day, making it much easier to do. 8, time block your calendar with tasks
there we
that
go.
you need to do.
I like
9,
it.
limit yourself to max 30
Yes.
minutes a day on social media if there's no value from it. 10,
Darn you, TikTok. I mean, that's the biggest time suck for me right now. It's curbing just wasteful social media use versus something that, again, I'm listening to Andrew Huberman or Mel Robbins or Bradley, something that's advancing me and helping me learn, because lifelong leaders are lifelong learners.
10, actually schedule your self-care time into your
like
calendar.
I talked about.
And that way you won't feel guilty for taking a break.
Yes.
Here's a list of strategies that I talked about, and you might
Sweet, awesome stuff, Vincent. I like the rapid fire section the most. There was a lot of value in that, of how to actually Get more out of your day because folks, look, I know it's a lot of the time seems very heady. I understand that, especially if you're like, dude, I'm just trying to pay the bills. I'm struggling. And I've been flat out broke. I have been $7,800 that I couldn't pay on a credit card that went into collections. Like, I've been through a lot of this stuff as well. I remember being at a gas station and trying to decide where my $5 was going to go, because that's all I had. But a lot of good stuff in here. So what I need you to do is in the comments, tell me where you are, where you want to be with business ventures. Is it just like, I want to work on this pocket of side hustle apps and platforms, DoorDash, the Ubers, the Walmart, Amazon Flex, and I just want to maximize my income with that, which is cool. Do I want to create my own website, sell a product, course, or service? Let me know, because I want to see how we can relate these tips to either, the whole spectrum of your money and your business goals.